It begins with a silence you don't trust. The phone rings with a number you've been hoping for. An email lands in your inbox with the subject line, "Congratulations." For a single, fleeting second, your breath catches and a wave of warmth spreads through your chest. This is it, the good news. But then, just as quickly as it came, the warmth recedes, replaced by a familiar cold dread. Your mind doesn't celebrate, it starts scanning. What's the catch? When will the other shoe drop? This moment of victory suddenly feels less like a summit and more like the edge of a cliff. Why? Why would the arrival of something you've wanted so desperately feel like an omen of disaster? Today, we are going deep into the psychology of people who are afraid of good news. Because if you don't understand this deeply ingrained pattern, you will live your life in a state of self-imposed exile from your own happiness, forever bracing for a storm that exists only in your mind. For those who live with this fear, life is a strange paradox. You work tirelessly for a promotion, but when you get it, you're paralyzed by the fear of being exposed as a fraud. You long for a loving relationship, but when you find it, you push it away, convinced it's only a matter of time before it ends in heartbreak. Psychologists have a name for this: Cherophobia, an irrational aversion to being happy. But it's not happiness itself that's the enemy. It's the vulnerability that comes with it. To be happy is to have something to lose. And for a nervous system that has been wired for survival, loss is the ultimate threat. It's a pattern that's less about a fear of joy and more about a deep, primal conditioning for catastrophe. This experience is often rooted in a past where stability was a luxury. If you grew up in an environment where every moment of peace was just the quiet breath before the shouting began, or where every piece of good news was quickly followed by a new crisis, your brain learned a critical lesson. Calm is not safe. Relief is a warning sign. Your amygdala, the brain's little alarm system, became exquisitely tuned to associate positive feelings with the imminent threat of them being taken away. So now, as an adult, when good things happen, that old alarm system screams danger. It doesn't know the difference between the past threat and the present peace. It only knows the pattern. Good is followed by bad. Therefore, good must be feared. This isn't pessimism. It's a survival mechanism that has outlived its purpose. Psychologists also talk about something called the upper limit problem. We each have an internal thermostat for how much success, love, and happiness we believe we are worthy of. When our life exceeds that setting, we unconsciously create a crisis to bring ourselves back down to a more familiar and therefore more comfortable emotional temperature. We pick a fight with our partner. We miss a deadline at work. We find a flaw where there is none. We do this not because we want to be miserable, but because misery is a territory we have already mapped. We know how to survive it. The vast, open landscape of sustained happiness, however, is terrifyingly unknown. The great irony is that your fear of things falling apart becomes the very thing that makes you take them apart. The prophecy fulfills itself. So, if this is you, if you find yourself flinching at praise and waiting for disaster in moments of peace, know this first. You are not broken. You are a highly skilled survivor. That hypervigilance that now robs you of your joy is the very thing that got you here. It kept you safe. But the battle you were fighting is over and the armor is now too heavy to carry. The first step to healing is not to force yourself to feel happy. It's to allow yourself to feel safe. When that good news arrives and the familiar dread begins to creep in, don't fight it. Acknowledge it. Address that part of you, the vigilant guard at the gate, and say, "I see you. Thank you for protecting me, but we are safe now." This isn't about ignoring potential problems. It's about refusing to let past ghosts dictate your present reality. It's about consciously choosing to sit in the warmth of a good moment. even if it's just for 5 seconds longer than you're comfortable with. Each time you do this, you are gently retraining your nervous system. You are teaching it, breath by breath, that joy does not have to be a prelude to pain, that stability can be trusted. Your fear is not a sign of weakness, it is a testament to the storms you have weathered. But you are not just the storm. You are also the quiet, resilient earth that remains when the clouds have passed. You have spent a lifetime learning how to brace for the fall. Now it is time to learn how to stand in the sun.